What's up, everybody? It's Jeremy here, and I'm ocean bound. I'm heading to my home spot, Pleasure Bay again. I was here yesterday doing a little bit of a paddle sesh, and today I have a plan. We should have a pretty adequate amount of wind. I think I saw it. It's been around like 18 and 22. I forget where it was the last time I looked. It has been windy for the last little bit, but I've been waiting for it to increase in temperature, and it has increased. It was like 28 and now it's 33. So it's gone up like 5 degrees in the last, I don't know, like hour and a half, 2 hours, which is great, but it's still gonna be cold. Oh, cool, there's a kiter out, someone else setting up. It's gonna be a party. I just can't think while I'm backing up. Cool. So the plan today is I'm gonna ride the 680, 780, and 880. I'm gonna ride them all with the 140 Dart. I'm gonna ride them all with the red and the blue shim, and I'm gonna see how fast I can go. That's just something that's been on the top of my head. It's like the one thing that I think makes these stand apart from the V1s is the V1s I think could get a higher speed, but I haven't ridden like anything for like speed tests yet with the 140. And the other thing that's kind of new today is Roy from Kaohi Board Meeting USA has sent me some, some leashes, both wing and board leashes. I want to try his belt with the new hand wing leash today, and then I'm gonna try my board on my leg, on my calf, and that's just not something I've ever really liked doing before, but today we're gonna give it a try, and I think I'm gonna go in this direction. I just keep seeing people doing cool jump tricks, 360s, stuff like that, like a 360 on a wave. I think I saw Wingman was doing a tutorial on, and I really want to crush that, and I just can't really do that with the way that I've been setting up my my safety on my arm. So that's another thing we're gonna try today. All right, so cool. Let's flip this around and get everything set up and hit the water at Pleasure Bay. Here we go. All right, so what am I bringing to the beach? Cold, man, it's cold. All right, final answer, 5.5 meter. My guess is, what is it, really west? Oh yeah, it's pretty west right now. It's not a good sign that Sean's way down there. Okay, so why am I doing this? I just have a feeling that these new HAs are not going to get up to the same speed as the V1 HAs or the Hemis. And not only did I make my life more complex by getting a 680, a 780, and an 880, but about the same time I also picked up the 140 stab after using the 180 for almost everything. So I'm just trying to figure everything out and what I'm gonna be gravitating to. And so this session is just one step that I've taken to kind of make sense out of all of this. Someone on the interweb said that they were able to get their new HAs to faster speeds with the Speed 180 tail than they could with the 140. It's just, how could this be? My mind immediately thinks. The Armstrong website says lightning fast response with minimal drag for high speeds for the 140 Dart. But maybe this dude has something going on here. Maybe the 140 is snappier for maneuvering, but the 180 design is just as fast, but just offers more stability, and maybe with higher stability can come greater speeds. I don't know. It's all so confusing, but for this sesh, I tried the 680, 780, 880 back to back using the 140 Dart and my typical setup of using 1.5 degree shims. When I was doing these speed runs, I was trying to do the same line, which is kind of between a buoy and this tree that was at the end of the causeway. And I tried to do that every run. Unfortunately, the wind was shifting between directions a little bit and changing speeds as well, so it just wasn't the cleanest, ideal conditions to run these. Was this very scientific? Absolutely not. So it is worth noting here that this test didn't turn out the way that I thought it was going to turn out. I did at least a dozen rungs per foil, and the 680 and the 780, I was able to get up to the same speed, 24.3 miles an hour or 39 kilometers an hour. And the 880 came in right under that at 23.7 miles an hour or 38 kilometers an hour. For whatever it's worth, I never get going my fastest on flat water. It's like always down a wave. And I've already reached higher speeds on waves with the 880 than I did today. On January 7th, I maxed out at 24.8 miles an hour, which is 40 kilometers. And that was with the 180 tail. And on January 10th, I maxed out at 26.2 miles an hour, which is 42 kilometers an hour with the 880 and the 140 dart. So I really just didn't think that I was gonna be able to get up to my highest speeds on that 880, but I don't know, for some reason I thought that 680 may be able to go faster than that, or maybe the 780 would too. During the sesh, getting up to higher speeds on these, smaller sizes, it felt a little tweakier. They reminded me of my MA100, a little kind of side-to-side skatiness, which is probably just made even more intense with the 140 tail. But there was just something about it at speed that felt like it wanted to lift up and breach more as I got to like those higher speeds. But I didn't feel super out of control at all, but something was there, I could feel it. So I'm thinking that will be lessened with the 180 tail and definitely with the 205, but will the speed be there? The next steps for me are to take the 680 or the 780 out and run back-to-back sessions with the 140 and the 180 tails. There's times that I like it loose back there, and there's times that I want to be locked in. Maybe that's how I'm going to be choosing tails, for different sessions. And that 205, it'd be nice to throw that in the mix as well. I had really high hopes for this test, but it kind of came up as a bust. I'm going to keep trying to tweak things in the next month and see what I can come up with. I still need to jump with these more, which means I have to adjust my foot straps to my winter booties. I've just been so lazy about that. And really, I'm planning on getting rid of at least one of these foils. My guess is going to be the 780 because I really do like that 880 for my downwind board. But it's funny because I've always wanted a middle size between my 925 and my 725. And now with this new line, they have like a smaller increments. And I have a 680, 788. I have 3 foils. They're so close. It's really hard to tell the difference between 2 sizes that are right next to each other. There's just way too much overlap. So yeah, that was my scientific session of the week. More of that coming. If you want to see some more of my videos and you haven't done so already, please consider clicking that subscribe button. Drop me a comment because I'm super curious on what you guys may be maxing out your HAs at. And feel free to ask me anything or just share some of your personal stoke because I love that. And with that, I hope all of you guys are doing well out there. I'll see you soon on the flip, and I wish you all an awesome day. Later.